Hey, Saturday evening, my plan to finish a book or two at my sister's failed. I read a quarter of All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman, and then things happened and my concentration desire to read went. However, I have read some more today. I am about 150-ish pages away from finishing. I don't see I don't see the villainy. You are following, basically you're in a town where there's magic, common magic and high magic, and a couple of centuries ago, 7 of the strongest families started a tournament to see who could control this high magic every generation. And you follow four of the champions for this new tournament. And they've all got their own plans, and yeah, I'm not enjoying it as much as I thought I would. Because it does say at the beginning, you fell in love with the victors of the Hunger Games. Now prepare to meet the villains of the Blood Veil. I don't see these children as villains. They have been, in some cases, trained since birth to be the champion. They had no choice. In others, they were forced to be the champion because no one else in their family would stand up for it. And even when they try to not be the champion, they're not allowed to not be the champion. I don't see any of these children as villains. Out of the 4 that you follow, there is one who I'm liking just because her plan is so different from everyone else's. There is a enemies to lovers romance, I think, going on here. There's already one that's happened, but that kind of went in the past. By the way, all these families intermarry with each other, and if you marry into that other family, you cannot be seen with your other old family. There are cast makers who always go for the ones who they think are going to win, but they seem to have a hidden agenda this year as well. This tournament, by the way, has never been known by anyone outside of these 7 families and the spell makers in the city, and now all of a sudden the government find out, because someone wrote a tell-all book and made it public knowledge. I get the Hunger Games vibes. I really get the Hunger Games vibes. I just don't get how these kids are meant to be villains. Honest to God. So yeah, I have about 150 pages left to read. I will finish that tonight, and then I will start the Thursday Murder Club. Yeah, my plan for tomorrow is to finish the Thursday Murder Club and potentially start and finish another book. But if I finish the Thursday Murder Club this weekend, I only have 6 books ready to read for ClearUrShit. So this week, the second mystery prompt was revealed, and here is the screenshot of the prompts for depending on what you chose. And for me, it is to read a pre-ordered book. All my books are pre-ordered, so I'm not adding another book on. I'm just slotting one of the books I've already read or plan to read into it. Also, the book that I DNF'd, The Lampliers, I wasn't sure if I could class it as prompt reached. And I've been speaking to Discord, and people are like, yeah, DNFs are highly encouraged. If you DNF it, you've reached that prompt because you've got it off your shelf. So if I finish this, I will have completed and reached all the first 12 prompts, which I'm really happy about. And on the other side, I don't have many to read, because I've already read 2, and the mystery prompt's going to be reached by another one, so at most it'll be 9 books. But if the boss battle comes out and I can fit it into a prompt to a book I've already picked, I'm just doing that. So at most, I only have to read, apart from Thursday Murder Club, I only have to read another 7 books in 2 weeks, which is doable because after next week I'm off for Christmas, so I could literally just spend 2 days smashing out 4 books. She says until she realises that 3 of them books look pretty big. So yeah, I will update you later tonight when I have finished all of the villains. It is the start of a series. At the moment, will I be carrying this series on? No. Let's see if the last 150 pages can change my mind. 29 Saturday. Guess who's changed her mind about carrying this series on? Nothing dramatic. I don't know how to say. So it's a 3.5 stars. I still don't care about the majority of our main characters. I care about one of them, and he's meant to be the villain, but actually I see exactly where he's coming from. I know exactly why he feels the way he feels. I want to see him develop. The two exes I couldn't care less about because she's just annoying and he's just two-faced. The other girl who didn't get on with the side of the family that's part of this tournament, nah. And I saw the big reveal of the villain. So 3.5 stars, but I'm just carrying it on for Alistair. Which isn't good because I have so many other books I want to read. But yeah, that is for the prompt to read the last book you bought, and technically it was one of many. So when I mark it off, that is this full side of ClearUrShit done. It's this side I need to concentrate on. And I've already read 3, so I've read The Free Space, the book with water themes or elements, and a group cast. So that's 3 done. Mystery prompt I can cover from any of the remaining, apart from Eliza, I can cover. Technically, I can cover it with my next read, the Thursday Murder Club. Even though I didn't pre-order it this year, I pre-ordered it last year and got it. So that's my mystery prompt done. So yeah, that's the plan. That one is a free space, and that one is a big boss battle, which we don't know what that prompt is yet. But that's good. If I finish Thursday Murder Club, I will technically only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 books to read. However, if I cover boss battle with the free space, that's only 7 books, which is doable. So yes, so my plan is to do my reading journal and then start the Thursday Murder Club. A bunch of retired friends who meet up once a week to investigate murder mysteries, unsolved ones I believe, and then one week there is one on their doorstep and they have to figure it out. It's 375 pages long, doable by tomorrow. So, sorry, 377. Like I said, doable by tomorrow. Well, to complete tomorrow, then potentially start another book. So, yay me. I will update you when I am somewhere through the book, which will most likely be tomorrow. Hi, it's Monday the 13th. Can you guess this is a 2-week vlog? I think I've quickly realised that when I'm actually working and I have other things going on in my life, I can't vlog as much as I want to. Not that I'm great at vlogging, but here we go. So, I am still reading the Thursday Murder Club. I I'm so bored. It's an easy read, and it is an easy read, and that's how much I don't care as I just chucked that cover. It's an easy read, it is. But it's too easy, if that makes sense. The longest chapter I've had is like 10 pages. I like short chapters. I do. I seriously do. But I'm at page 156. And I'm at chapter 48. That is too short. You're probably averaging, what, 3-4 pages in chapter? Really? I'm not bothered. I don't feel that the story is moving on. I genuinely don't. I genuinely think I'm just at the same point I was 50 pages back. There's nothing. It's not keeping my attention enough. At the moment, it is a 2-star read. And I refuse to DNF another book. So, I'm going to read this tonight. I'm going to try and read as much as I can. I have a very busy schedule. I have very busy days coming up. Thursday, I'm watching Peter Pan. I'm watching Spider-Man. Good gosh. Sorry, I've just seen what the number of the last chapter is. 115. Really? Why do I do this to myself? So yes. Thursday, I am at Spider-Man. Friday, it is my work's conference, so you know there's going to be alcohol, so you know I ain't reading. Saturday will be recovery / drop presents off. Sunday, D&D is back for one final go before the end of the year. So I will be out for a few hours, and then I have next week off work, so that'll be fun. But this week, before Saturday, I also have to wrap my presents for Christmas. So ideally, I would finish this tonight, but it's not going to happen. I just can't. I know I said I wasn't going to DNF, but you know what? I think I may have to. I can't. And just keep it for my unhaul project. When I have time. You know what? No, it's a DNF. I honestly can't. If I'm nearly halfway through it and I am bored and it is a 2-star, I am not pushing myself to finish it. So that is prompt. That's my mystery prompt done, because it was a pre-order from last year, and it just shows to show I need to stop believing the hype. I need to stop it. Yeah, so what am I going to pick up instead this week? You know what? I'm going to tackle a big book. I'm going to tackle the biggest one on my case on my shelves. Let me just grab that for you. I say this is my biggest book on my shelves. I think it is, just judging by how friggin' massive it is. The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. There is, I think this is like a 500 pager, I want to say. 533 page book. So this will be for prompt 16. Intimidating book. In this book, I can't remember what the blurb is. Right, here you go. So I'm just going to give you the quick synopsis. A girl who is in isolation in an ancient temple because she's imprisoned by her dictator brother. The temple was once a source of powerful magic, is now a ruin. She meets a maidservant who is tasked to attend the chambers, and she has a dangerous secret, but then the girl finds out, the princess finds out the secret of the girl. So yes, it's 533 pages, so this is just my book for the week. If I can finish this Saturday, I will be really, really happy, but let's see if that happens, because I do need to wrap my presents. However, DNFing this, just like with the Lamplighters, I am covering it as that prompt completed. because it's highly encouraged, and you know what, it's got it off my shelves. I know I said I may give it another go, like Lamplighters. I may still keep that, but I will keep them as my unhaul project, and they're not going to be on my actual books I want to read list, because technically I don't want to read them. But yeah, so my next update will be with the Jasmine Throne. Let's hope I enjoy it a heck of a lot more than the Thursday Murder Club. Hi, if this looks weird, like I'm too big, or just looks odd, the angle, because it looks odd to me, I'm filming this on my iPad because technically my phone is charging. Well, it is charging, and I don't know where the camera is, so if my eyes keep dying, I'm really sorry. It's because there's no light. Right, I think it's there. Is it there? I'm going with there. It's not. It's there. Why have I just spent so much time finding the camera? It's there. So it's Sunday night. I have only read 75 pages of the Jasmine Throne since I started it. And I can't remember when that was. I've had a very busy, stressful week, which didn't help from me having a full-blown anxiety attack on what was meant to be an amazing night out with my work gang. Unfortunately, my anxiety was quite high. I have the wrong conversation with the wrong person at the wrong time, and it overflowed. Nothing to do with my work team at all. They are amazing. But it just ruined my night, and I kind of slipped away, and I've been a bit of a down since then. So I haven't wanted to read. I did a bit of a tangent here, and when it comes to my anxiety, when I do have an anxiety attack, I find talking helps, and if I'm not talking to someone in person, I say in person because I was messaging Ada, and Ada, you did help me a lot, thank you. But if I've not got someone in person, I kind of find that I film myself talking to me, and then I watch it back the next day to see if that helps, or to help me try and resolve what happened and see how to not do that in future. I did contemplate putting that in here, but I just think it's too, for me at the moment, it's too personal to show you that side of my anxiety. But here's my picture that I took to send to my sisters because they were so worried for me. You may think, Michelle, what's bad about that picture? That's what I look like when my anxiety is really bad and I do have an anxiety attack. I know I've mentioned in the past my anxiety is high, I want to read. Unfortunately, this is the opposite, where I didn't want to read. So yes, it's Sunday night, it's about 8:15. I am not going to finish this tonight. I've read 75 pages. It's 533 pages long. So I need to read 460 pages tonight-ish to finish. Let's be honest, that's not going to happen. So my plan is tonight to get to 50%, and then next week try and smash out the Jasmine Throne and 5, potentially 6 books. What do I think so far to the Jasmine Throne? It's okay. It's not blowing my mind, but obviously I'm not that far into it, so I still need to get more into it. It's okay. It's a 3-star at the moment, and it's a 3-star where I want to continue, not a 3-star. Oh my gosh, this needs to get better, otherwise I'm going to cancel this book and DNF it. So yeah, so I may not update you tonight, but I may end this vlog tomorrow, probably will do, and I'll update you more then. But yeah, and in regards to them 5 books, I'm not working next week because obviously Christmas, so, and it's the last week of ClearUrShit, which means we get the big boss battle prompt. But I'm going to try and, whatever that prompt is, I'm going to try and work with the books I've already got. I will stretch it until it's the thinnest line you can not even barely see without a microscope. So I will stretch that prompt to fit to my book. Books. I am quite lucky with the fact that the prompts that I have left, I can cover with about 3 books that I have still left to read, not including the Jasmine Throne. So if needed, I can just read 3 extra books. This is me though. But if I do that, I don't know, I'm saying this now because I'm saying my blog anyway. But if I do that, I am doing the end of year readathon hosted by Vicky and Amanda. I will post a Twitter down below. Whatever books I have left over, I will just carry on to the week after to try and cover that as well. So technically, I have not just put in the books that I put for Clear Your Shelf back on my shelf. And as always, with ClearUrShit, if you DNF a book for a prompt, it still counts as a prompt completed. Your girl isn't going to die this time. So I will update you probably in the morning with the Jasmine Throne. Monday evening, can you guess this is a 2-week vlog again? Or a 3-week. I generally have no idea with what I'm doing with vlogs at the moment, or videos in total. I am about 171 pages through the Jasmine Throne. I am DNFing. I have no desire to want to carry on reading this book. I've been messaging Ada and I was really confused, like about 20 pages back. And now I'm a little less confused. Well, not 20, like 34, something like that. I'm a little less confused, but there's no desire to read. I want to have a book where it's like, I want to carry on reading to find out what's going to happen. I have not got that with this. So it's a DNF. But with ClearUrShit, which I love, it means my prompt is still reached over DNF. So that was for intimidating book. I'm going to try and read Eliza and Her Monsters tonight, like start finish. This is for a book you can't remember what it's for, which is the majority of my books, let's be honest. It's the 20th of December, this readathon doesn't finish till the 27th. I'm taking 2 books out, 2 days, because obviously Christmas Day, Boxing Day, I'm with family, I ain't reading. The Big Boss battle prompt has been released to read a book in a series. I have one definitely on my TBR that can fit that, so this would have been the other one, but I want to actually read that one. So I don't have to read another book, but I have to fit on 5 books, I think it is, in 5/6 maybe days. Wish me luck. I will update you with Eliza when I've read some of it. Hi. Before I start reading, I thought I would tell you what the synopsis is for Eliza. Well, not synopsis, I'll try and do a breakdown. She is a girl who is shy, weird and friendless. Online, she's the creator of a wildly popular webcomic. And then the biggest fanfiction writer of this comic transfers to her school, thinks that she's just another fan, brings her out of a shell, and then it comes out who she is and how it messes her life up. Hi, ignore mess. It's like 10:20. I have finished Eliza and Her Monsters. I am rating it 3 stars purely for the mental health rep and how that is dealt with in this book by the family, because I very much saw me and my situation with my mental health in this book. And what I mean when I say that, because Eliza is a lot younger than me, is that she struggles to come around to the idea that she has anxiety. For years I dealt with it without having a diagnosis. She doesn't talk to her mum and dad. She thinks they should know what's happening with her, a la me and my mum and my sisters at that time. When it comes out she has this diagnosis and things, and mum and dad still don't get it, but siblings are trying to, but she just pushes them away. And And the way it comes about her parents realising what they've done is bad and how it's affected her mentally. Wow, that was me, my sister with my other sisters and mum, and actually how mental health has affected my family in other ways with other people. And when I say me, my sister and I don't mean that they didn't disregard my anxiety. They never did. I think for them it was just they'd never seen me have an anxiety attack. And while my mum had seen me have one, I don't think she remembered it and how it made me feel, because when I got diagnosed with anxiety, it was also when I got diagnosed with my vitamin D deficiency. So it was more for that for her rather than the anxiety. And with my siblings, like I said, they didn't know what one was like. And it sounds really bad, and I love all my sisters equally. But there was one sister in particular, and she knows who she is, and I think she watches these sometimes, who I felt I could just sometimes ring when it was really bad and be like, I just need you to talk to me about the kids because I'm in a bad space and I need something to take my mind off it. Why am I crying? God. And she would just talk. So I wasn't in that bad thoughts, and she kind of got it again because it wasn't in person, it was over the phone. She didn't get it quite fully. And then that did change because of certain situation, which I will not talk about because it's personal. And she got it a lot more, and that conversation kind of bonded us a bit more because it was like, I get now where you came from, I've seen it, I get it. And then that helps the other two get around to the idea of what my anxiety was like, and for me to open up more. For example, it's a very silly example, I'll say, my sisters will kill me for saying that. We had a really bad thunder and lightning storm a few months back, and my sister was like, oh, you used to stand at the window, you loved it. I'm like, yeah, that might be the case, but now all I think is a fear of this lightning's getting closer, it's going to strike my house, it's going to strike me dead because I have all this metal around me, and oh my god, I'm going to die. And the only way I cannot die is from in a fetal position on the ground floor, laying on the carpet. And I just remember the one that knows my anxiety, she was like, right, Michelle, let's work this out. No, over WhatsApp, da. And the other two were just like, oh dang, I didn't realise. And I'm like, yes, hello, hi. I think my mum still doesn't understand that. But yeah, so seeing that dynamic, it was like, that's me and my family. That was great. I loved it. I loved her feeling of uncertainty and how to deal with this as well. So I quite enjoyed that. The actual storyline about the comic and the romance, oh wow, I didn't enjoy that. I actually read the whole book in 2 hours. It was just easy writing, which I normally love and I'd like to do, but when I got to after an hour and I'd read like 260 pages, hour 380. Yeah, the relationship with her and Wallace, I didn't like it. I know he was going through some stuff, but I felt the way that he dealt with the situation when it came out, I think that was terrible. I know he's a teenager, I think it was terrible. And his little, I'm angry, you should have told me. She really shouldn't have told you, mate, because you were her biggest fanfiction writer, so why would she admit that to you? Because she didn't know if you're going to go tell everyone in the world. Yes, I really don't like that relationship. I don't like the fact that she forgives him. I just don't. I don't like the storyline of how it comes out. I think these parents are made to be out like they're not keeping an eye on their daughter and her hobby. It's just such a normal thing to do, and I'm like, hang on a minute. Minor spoiler, but doesn't. Do you know what? If this spoils it for you, I do apologise. And you're wanting to read it, I would still read it for the mental health rep, but not for this part. If your daughter's hobby is to the point where she has to get her own accountant to deal with taxes, it's grown that big, and you don't think there are thousands, if not millions of fans, you are a bad parent. You concentrate on your boys because they are normal in the eyes of society. It doesn't say that that's the way I feel. And you disregard your daughter because you don't know how she feels. That is bad parenting in my eyes. And they act like because they've cried and taken to a therapist, that makes it all better. No, not really. Not really at all. And again, I'm going to look at my family situation and my mental health. When I got my anxiety diagnosis, it was at about 3 or 4 years after my dad had passed away. So for them years, we were probably trying to deal with how to cope without having this massive person in our life. So I would never blame them for that. And I know at times my sisters have, and especially when I'm talking to her, she's like, how have I not noticed? It's like, I couldn't deal with that myself, so how could you notice it? But we live in other houses, so that was a good enough reason. These parents saw their daughter every day. They helped her find an accountant. It's not even about them seeing the problems, it's about the fact that they didn't think a hobby where she was making money enough for an accountant for taxes wasn't big enough to not try and reveal to their small paper. But if, like, do you know what, this is actually a spoiler, so if it does spoil it, I apologise, you can roast me all you want. But for their 14-year-old son to just walk in, Google this hobby and go, there's your millions of fans. But it's a small newspaper. But if you'd have Googled it, if you'd have kept an eye on it and see how big it was, you wouldn't have done this, because you would know there were some fans who would go and expose it. I rant over. My book journals will be freaking fun for this review. So yes, 3 stars. That was for the book that I don't remember the details of. Which means I only have to read 4 more for this readathon. Not including Free Space, but I will just cover Free Space for my 4 books. What book am I reading tomorrow? I haven't the foggiest. So I will update you tomorrow what I read, because I look absolutely shattered and I need to go to sleep. Hello! Tuesday morning, I have decided to read The Winter Garden by Alexandra Bell today. This is for the prompt purple on the cover. There is, if you shine the right light, there's a purple. I have already started it. I'm 14% of the way through it. I am loving it so much. It's historical fantasy set in the 1800s. A young lady, when she was 8 and her mother passed away, found a secret garden that only opens at 13 o'clock. She's in it for a week and then it disappears. She's now 25. Her father has passed. She's meant to get married to a duke, which has been arranged between her aunt, her father and his mother. That doesn't go to plan, and she has a very good friend, I will say, who's an American heiress, who it seems might be trying to get in with her fiancé. And then she gets both her and her best friend get an invite to the gardens and to design a garden, I believe. Yeah, but when both she and her closest friend Rosa receive invitations to compete to create spectacular pleasure gardens, with the prize being one life-changing wish, she realises she may be closer to finding it than she ever imagined. Now all she has to do is win. I read that 14% within half an hour. Well, 25 minutes actually, so 5 minutes after the sprint. Safe to say, I think I will be finishing it today, so I will update you later. It's the evening of the 21st. I'm about just under halfway through The Winter Garden. I forgot the name then. Do you know how I was pushing to have all my books read by the ending of the 24th? Guess whose dumbass has just realised that this readathon ends on the 27th. Which means I have a whole extra day to catch up on reading. I don't read on the 26th because it's our second family Christmas day, because my sister with the 2 nieces come over, so we all have a second redo. I'll be drinking. I hate reading. What do I think of The Winter Garden? Well, it's a quick read. Do you remember how I said earlier I'd read 14% in half an hour? It was about 70%, 70 pages, 75 pages. I read for another half an hour and I read another 100 pages. It's a quick read. What is it with me and speaking? Sorry, I'm just really tired, so the phone is shaking. It's a very quick read. I'm enjoying the little details. I'm enjoying the two third-person POVs, I will say. It's an interesting story. It's a quick-moving plot. So, yeah, it's enjoyable. But I'm not finishing it tonight. Oh. But I'm not pushing to finish it tonight. I absolutely just suddenly feel really tired. So I'm going to go to bed. And I'll finish it tomorrow. And then start another book tomorrow. And I might just keep doing that. Just keep, like trying to read a full book of pages, but maybe 2 books, and then just finish what I can the 27th, which is also the second day of the end of year readathon. So I may just look at the books that I have left to finish and see if I can fit any of them onto one of their prompts, which I think I can. But I will speak about the end of year readathon in my next vlog. So I will update you tomorrow when I finish The Winter Garden. 9 o'clock Wednesday, I have finished The Winter Garden by Alexandra Bell. Four and a half stars. I had to think then because I really, really, really want to give it 5. There's just a tiny... No, 5 stars. This writing flows so beautifully and quickly. Bear in mind this is a 520 page book. So because I read this book during sprints, like all sprints and stuff, so I remember I timed myself each sprint how much to read, how many pages. It took me 3 hours to read a 520 page book. 3 hours. I don't think I've ever read such a thick book so quickly. Like I said, the magic flows. The magic does flow. The words and plot flow quite nicely. I love the relationship between our 2 main characters. I love the plot and the details. I found myself going back and rereading certain paragraphs. In my head, I always don't imagine what I read in the paper. I was imagining what I read. I was imagining I was in these gardens, seeing all these fantastic things. I love it. I love the open-endedness of the ending. Even though there is a conclusion, there is still an open ending to it that I quite liked, which is quite unusual for me because I normally like to see where everything goes. If I was to compare these 2 books, I would compare this to The Starless Sea or The Night Circus because of the magical realism and the flowiness, and oh, I love it. Looking at the other books I have read this month, I think this may be my top book of the month. I just loved it. But that does take me down to 3 books to read for ClearUrShit. And I have 3 days, well, technically 5, but we take out Christmas Day, Boxing Day. I can't remember if I said yesterday, but I keep forgetting the 27th is technically the last day of this readathon. So I have tomorrow, I have Friday, and I have Monday to read 3 books. So out of the 3 remaining books, I have She Who Became a Sun by Shelley Parker Chan, historical Chinese magic, I think. Yeah, I think this is a retelling. Glorious retelling of the rise of the Ming Dynasty's first emperor. So I have that one. Please don't ask me what prompts these are for because I generally can't remember apart from one of them. I then have Victorian. Well, yeah, 1900s West Yorkshire book about a nanny, I should say, not a maid. Or I have a book that is for a boss battle and another prompt and fantasy. Lady Smoke by Laura Sebastian. This is a sequel. I forgot to say Mrs. England is by Stacey Hall. Which one am I going to read next? I don't know. I really want to pick up this one. I love the first book. So I want to kind of just carry on and just get this read, especially with it being a boss battle book. I can get 2 prompts off with 1 stone. So yes, but I don't think I'll start tonight. I think I will just start that another one tomorrow. But yeah, finally a 5-star book in this readathon. And it is looking more and more likely that I will finish this readathon. Which I, of course, am so happy about. And I've been looking at other readathons to do. I think I am going to do the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge this year as well. Next year, I should say. 40 challenges, 40 prompts spread across the year so I can read them when I want. There are 50, but 10 are advanced, and I'm not going to do them. I'm just going to do the 40. I'm trying to allocate prompts to books I already have, and I think I'm failing so much. So yes, that'll be fun. Which is what I'll be doing next week to do that. I have been thinking of what I want to film next week. Obviously, my film has not been that great recently. So next week I need to film as many videos as possible. So January TBR, December and November wrap up. Top books of the year, lowest rated books of the year, reading goals for next year, setting up of reading journal, reading goals for next year. So that's 7. And obviously I just need to try and obviously my reading vlog for next week. And of course next week I have to film a reading vlog because I'm participating in the end of the year readathon. I haven't planned a TBR for that yet just because I'm going to try and see how I feel. And I'm not going to aim for all 5 prompts. I'm just going to aim for 1 or 2. If I'm going to knock out 1 book with 1 or 2 prompts, I'll be happy. But yeah, next week's a busy week. All I'm going to say is with all them videos to film, thank God for my iPad, so I can just transfer everything on there. Because this phone will get filled up pretty quickly with Christmas. So yes, I will update you tomorrow with what I start and the prompt. And let's hope the next few books are, if not 5 stars, at least 4-star books. I can't wait. Christmas Eve lunchtime, I have finished Lady Smoke. I am going to give it 4 stars. I'm still enjoying the writing. I'm still enjoying this plot, although it was a bit slow at times in this book. I enjoyed it. I'm just not feeling this little love triangle. I want to say threesome then, that's not the right word. I'm not enjoying this little triangle. I just don't for some reason. I think she's playing both boys along and I don't like it, but hey ho. I enjoyed the plot. I just, like I said, it feels a bit more like a little bit of a filler book, which a lot of second books in trilogies do seem to feel like. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I love the descriptions of all these other characters and Astrea, and I can't wait to see more of that. And with that ending, I don't know how we're going to go next on from here. So that'll be fun. So I have 2 more books now to read for ClearUrShit. She Who Became the Sun and Mrs. England. I don't know if I'm going to get them both read because tomorrow's Christmas Day, then it's Boxing Day, Family Day, so no reading planned because I'll be drinking alcohol. I don't think I'll be able to squeeze another book in tonight because we do our family Christmas Chinese. So yes, I'll update you Monday with however much I manage to read. Hello, it is Boxing Day. I know I said I wouldn't be reading today, however, due to circumstances, I have time to read. So I am going to read, if I can find my... So when I last left you, I had 2 prompts left to complete for ClearUrShit, which are female or non-binary MC and opulent cover. So I'm for female or non-binary MC. I'm going to read Mrs. England by Stacey Halls. Our main character is a female nursery maid in West Yorkshire, 1904, and she goes to this family to look after their children and things aren't as they seem, and yeah. And then for opulent, I'm going to be reading She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. A glorious retelling of the rise of the Ming Dynasty's first emperor, and it's opulent because it's shiny and them edges are beautiful. So my plan today is to start and finish Mrs. England, and then hopefully start She Who Became the Sun, and then I can complete this readathon tomorrow and then go to bed for about 4 hours. So yeah, I will update you when I have finished Mrs. England. If I sound all over the place, I apologise. I have a cold that is kicking my arse. It's not COVID. I'm taking LFTs every day. It's not COVID, although I feel shite, so I'm convinced it is. Go anxiety, Shelley. But yeah, I'll stop waffling now and update you when I have either finished or got somewhere through Mrs. England. 9:15 Boxing Day evening, and I have finished Mrs. England. I'm going to give it a week 4 stars. Easy read. Like, I found a lot of Stacey Hall's, well, all of Stacey Hall's books to be a very easy read. It flows nicely. The characters are well developed. But while I kind of got the plot, I think there were some little plot holes where I was like, this doesn't make sense. Well, not make sense, but it doesn't add up quite as fully as it should do. And the ending, I was a bit like, oh, okay. I felt a bit disappointed, even though it was a happy-ish ending. I felt disappointed. And I didn't find that, I'll be honest, I don't think it's going to be one that stays with me. And that doesn't normally have an impact on what I rate a book, but I think for this one it does, because for The Familiars and The Foundling, Stacey Hall's other works, they stayed with me. I remember them. I still think of them fondly. So for this not to, it was a bit of a downfall. No, not downfall, let down. For ClearUrShit, that is the prompt female or non-binary MC completed, and my last remaining free space. With that being said, my last prompt for ClearUrShit to complete by the end of tomorrow is Opulent, and for that one I have gone for She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. And this, I'll read you the blurb, because I don't really remember it all that well. In a famine-stricken village on a dusty yellow plain, a seer shows 2 children their fates. For the boy, greatness. For the girl, nothingness. In 1345, China lies under harsh Mongol rule. For the starving peasants of the Central Plains, greatness is only found in stories. The Zhu family is mystified as to how Zhu Chongba, their 8th-born son, will achieve his lofty future. But for a daughter, no matter how clever or capable, an early death would be no surprise. Yet when a bandit attack orphans the 2 children, it's Zhu Chongba who dies. Desperate to survive, his sister steals his identity to enter a monastery. There, disguised as a male novice, Zhu learns she can be ruthless to avoid her fate. But when her sanctuary is destroyed, Zhu is cast back into the war-torn world. To change her ending, there's only one thing she can do: claim her brother's great destiny as her own. So I'll probably start this tonight, but then I will finish it tomorrow, and then I will finish ClearUrShit 2.0. I really don't like hyped books. I've DNF'd She Who Became the Sun. I got about 30% of the way through the book. I enjoyed the first part. If you read this book, you'll know me neither. I enjoyed the first part, about 20% of it. Then I read the next 40 pages, and I've never been so bored. And here's the thing, it wasn't a massive shift in the story. It was actually a very well written next step, and that's one thing I will say, the writing is quite good. I just wasn't bothered about these other characters that got introduced. And then when we tried to go back to our original character, I was just like, no, I'm not wanting to read this anymore. And you may think, Michelle, give it another go, but you know what? I'm not forcing myself to read a book where I'm not going to like half the characters. So I have DNF'd. However, for ClearUrShit, DNFs count as prompts completed, so I have completed ClearUrShit 2.0. Woo! No, I am really happy about that. I failed last year. I resurrected myself during 1.5 in June, and I have completed 2.0. I really love this readathon, just because, well, one, DNFs are counted as completed. The prompts are so different, if that makes sense. Like, they all kind of don't go together but do go together. And it's spread across 2 months, and you can double up if you want to, and you can just read as much as you want. And in the Discord, it's been great. The actual creators have been like, you know what, people spread it across the next year. I'm not bothered. It's up to you what you do. And it's literally a readathon of, here's the prompts. Stretch them as soon as you like. You think it classes. Don't want to complete in that time frame. Cool, do it when you want to. And it's one thing I love, and the community is just great. But yes, that is good. So yeah, that's final ClearUrShit vlog complete. I will do my wrap up, but because it will technically be my end of year wrap up, I will be filming that later on this week, so that will hopefully be up next week. But yeah, that's the end of this week's vlog. Not the way I wanted to end it. Well, I say this week, so it's 2 weeks. Not the way I wanted to end ClearUrShit with a couple of DNFs, but you know what? A girl's got to do what a girl's got to do, so I will see you next time.